Welcome back, Wheelessness, Season 4, Episode 5. Six. Josh, what episode overall is that?
46.
See, it's just easier because I say it first. We got the Jetsons, Invasion of Planet Pirates. Or as we draw it, it was what? Jetson, Invasion of the Pirate, Planet Pirates or something.
Something like
However
that.
It was when it broke up on the screen. So the Jetsons, it's a cartoon. Now, I will say, Jetsons is an old-ass cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, I never got into the Jetsons because it was just too damn old for me. Like, I'm an 81 model, and it had been around for a little bit. Like, Jetsons, to me, was like Rocky and Bullwinkle. I would watch it if it was on, but it just wasn't as cool as damn G.I. Joe or, the X-Men
Scooby-Doo.
cartoon. Yeah. So, it's a classic. I'd say a Silver Age cartoon, perhaps.
I give it a Silver Age.
So this game, though, however, was released in 94 in North America, 95 in Japan. So, right smack dab in it. I guess one thing I should do right here that I haven't, that I've completely forgot, is read the back of the box. When I say I forgot to print the back of the box.
Forgot to pull it up.
So tell us what you think about the Jetsons as I scramble to do this.
The
John.
Jetsons as a cartoon. I said I was born in 90, so I was watching it a little bit on Boomerang or early morning cartoons. And like you said, it wasn't great. It wasn't good, but I personally like the Flintstones a lot better than the Jetsons.
So the cover art of this box shows basically what you kind of expect. George Jetson. It's hard for me to say George Jetson. I think George Jefferson every time. And so the back of the box is actually only got a handful of words on it. It says the Jetsons, Invasion of Planet Pirates. Of the Planet Pirates. It says, meet George Jetson. Welcome to the wacky 21st century. It's up to you to help George set things straight. 9 stages of awesome action, 8 megs of excellent cartoon quality graphics, over 20 goofy enemies to defeat, based on the smash television show, The Jetsons. So
that's a quick, simple back of the box.
Well, how do you really explain if you have any recognition with the Jetsons, you're going to probably think, the Jetson family.
Yep.
You're going to think space.
Yep.
And you're going to think the future. That's what I think that's pretty much hits on all of it. So I guess there really ain't a whole lot to say about the Jetsons that you probably don't already know. But like I say, this was released in 94 North America, 95 in Japan, which is odd because normally stuff releases in Japan than here. Yeah. But I'm guessing that this is probably a North American cartoon. It's why. It's a platformer. It's what Super Nintendo hangs a hat on. Now, this part's a little interesting. It was developed by Sting Entertainment and published by Atlas Japan. And Atlas does have a vested interest in Sting. In 2009, Atlas and Sting partnered where Sting would make some games that were published by Atlas. And Sting did develop Atlas games. They made a bunch of games, but pretty much for me and you, not a damn game that we've ever heard of. There is a lot of when I say there is a lot of games, there's a lot of games. And they all are Japanese. Yes. Yeah. Not all of them, but
the vast amount.
Yes. They did not get famous for making North American games, let's put it that way. It was published by Taito, which we played several of them games. When I get a Taito game, I don't really know what to think.
Yeah.
It's, flip a coin. Probably follow more on the not so good than the good. But, so the story of this game is you're playing as the futuristic George Jetson. Basically, I guess to dumb this down is, he finds out there's some space pirates gonna loot the solar system. The superhero of Jetson world for some reason and trust George Jetson, which looks like the typical dad bod cartoon guy to save the solar system instead of himself. There's 9 stages of which he's defeating said pirates. I know it says there was 20 enemies on the back of the box. I figured there's probably more than 20 enemies. I mean, I don't know.
Good handful. I didn't count them. But
I didn't either, but they at least, I guess you probably chalk that up to the make it, that if there was only 20 different type of enemies, they spaced them out enough and mixed them in enough that you didn't notice. So the one thing that George Jetson gets given to him is he's got a pneumo-osmotic precipitator witch, which they call Weapon Pop, which is basically a damn vacuum cleaner.
It's a vacuum cleaner.
Vacuum cleaner before Luigi got a hold of it. What is it? The Poltergust?
Yeah, the Poltergust 2000 and 3000.
Yeah, maybe the only other game I know that has a vacuum cleaner. Didn't one of the Mickey Mouse games. He kind of had a vacuum.
Circus Adventures.
And that was a pretty solid, I like that game. I like the way they use the vacuum. So he basically has this pop gun, which is, I guess, is really only his defense. And basically what you do is you suck off as much stuff as you can.
Yep.
You suck off blocks, you suck off enemies.
You suck off food.
You can suck off yourself to give yourself air underwater. So...
you can also suck off walls that will let you cling to them and jump higher.
That is true.
So great suck off.
One thing that is a little strange in this game that I don't know that I really see is in the type of game like this platformer, is if you beat the boss and you have a high enough score, I think it's if you have more time and stars than what's asked, you get a bonus stage, which is a little strange. I mean, it's strange. Cool. It's cool. Give you something for replayability, maybe high score, but as far as that goes, I don't have anything else to hop up the Jetsons invasion of Planet Pirates. Josh, do you have anything you want to add before we jump over into Make It and Break It?
No. I mean, it was a mediocre cartoon.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I have a feeling that the people who really love this cartoon is not people born from 1981 current.
Yeah.
Or unless you just had, and I'll go ahead and tell you, it didn't come on normal channels. You were probably watching it on Nick at Night or
Boomerang.
in syndication, Boomerang. I didn't have that growing up. I think that people who love the Jetsons probably fall into an older category because that's what they probably grew up on. And another thing is maybe some of these tech savvy people, maybe something IT related, because they did predict quite a bit of things that would happen in the future, and they were futuristic. So that part's kind of cool. Maybe somebody with a more creative mind than mine could perhaps
appreciate.
But yeah. No, just keep feeding me peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and give me G.I. Joe's, motherfuckers, because that's what Daddy wants. So let's just go ahead and hop into Make It and Break It. First thing I'll make it is, and it kind of, I appreciate it, but it's strange that there's so many games. I get it that you can go into the options and change the difficulty. I could have never imagined, out of all the Super Nintendo games that we play, how many you can actually go in and know that you want more lives or more health. Give me more. Give me. I play it on normal. That's how I play every game. Even current generation games, I'll start there because that's the way I feel they want me to. They intend for me to play it.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, if you're going to go platinum chasing or you're just in love with that game, yeah, let's bump it up.
Let's crank it up.
Like a Diablo, I don't mind playing it at a harder difficulty.
No, that's just fun though.
But you know, I kind of want to take it as you're bringing the game in that package to me. Show me how you want me to play it. But in a game like this, I didn't change the difficulty, but I did bump my lives up because I knew I was going to suck.
Same here.
That's just, I feel like every century that I've got older, I need at least one more live or continue.
One more century you got older?
Decade? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, decade.
So are you dropping that you're immoral?
Not really. I'm not a Highlander. I'm more like a bottom feeder, a lowlander. And I didn't know because I think there was probably unlimited continues.
There was.
I never ran out of them. I don't know that there was.
I mean, I made it to 10 continues, and I was still going strong. So.
Yeah, I had no problem burning through continues and lives. Proceeded to go at a heavy pace on this.
Yep.
I would say one thing that was kind of cool was the button mapping seemed right. There was areas where it was kind of frustrating, like getting the controls. But as far as your A, B, X, Y, it seemed okay. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot to it. You got a freaking vacuum cleaner.
I appreciate the fact that you could change your button layout, too.
Yeah, you could do that in the options as well.
Because I didn't like having dash as my left trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So I switched it to the exact setup of a Mega Man game.
Right on.
So that way, that was something I was extremely used to.
Yeah, I mean, there was, you had run, vacuum, jump. And that's pretty much about it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, there might have been one of the buttons made a vacuum. One of them, I think, was like a vacuum, and one was like a quick suck.
Yeah.
Or something to that sort. So, and I got on here, we talked about the enemies as well. I was like, I'm not a huge Jetsons fan. And I don't know that any of these enemies are
in the show
whatsoever, nor do I care enough to go back into it. I didn't mind them. They seem Jetsony.
Yeah, they seem futuristic.
I mean, let's just say this.
Okay, now the monkey.
Well, that was kind of like a ripoff of, I think, of Super Mario World boss, that monkey.
I do too.
But here's where I'm going to stand is you're a cartoon that essentially, I think, came out in the 60s. I got some of this in the fun facts of when it came out because there's some surprising stuff. But you're a cartoon from the 60s and you're taking place in the future and you are battling space pirates. Why not have a big ass monkey in there? I mean, nobody's going to tell you, that's not a space pirate. Like, it's like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You can say, hey, those ooze creatures or putties look funny. Well, you can't say these guys look funny because you don't know what the fuck a space pirate looks like.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe maybe the big monkey is just the Weapon X for space pirates. I don't know.
Who knows?
I do have in here that the gameplay's somewhat original. I mean, they call it what they want. It's a fucking vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
And the thing that I don't know that I've played on a lot of games is being able to stick to the wall and the ceilings.
I was about to say, that was honestly the highest selling point for me. Is I thought that was a really cool factor because the only game I know of that was something similar to that was Mega Man, how you can do wall climb.
Well, and don't get me wrong, once you vacuum set yourself to the damn wall, and I've been more pissed off by trying to jump from one fucking wall to another and sticking myself. That pissed me off.
Yeah.
Like, jumping up and sticking was fine. Jumping to the other one and sticking, I sucked at.
Yeah.
And so even though that was aggravating, it was still cool to have that. I don't know that there was a whole lot of, like I say, there's more platformer games than not that doesn't do that, The one thing that was kind of cool that, I mean, I knew from reading about it ahead of time that you could use it to breathe underwater, but essentially he uses it almost as just like he puts it over his face like one of them oxygen masks.
Yeah.
And he just cruises around underwater. And I don't know why that seems so cool to me, but
Mario didn't need it.
No.
He held his breath for fucking ever.
Well, that is true. But, I mean, when you say, hey, this is if you presented it as a old cartoon that was before my time and his main weapon is a vacuum cleaner, I mean, when you say that now, everybody thinks Luigi's Mansion. But I would say that probably does not sound fun. But they made it more fun. Like, even jumping on the walls was like, okay, I kind of get that. But then when I accidentally, stuck myself to the ceiling the first time, I'm like, okay, well, that's different.
Yeah.
And, to go into it, probably to me the best part of the game was I felt like the level design probably played into that too. Because I mean, there was plenty of secrets, what I would consider a secret or a power up that you would have to stick to a wall and go down or go upside down. And then when you get into I think it's the third level where the screen actually rotates.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. okay, I kind of feel like, and then you had all these gears that you ran on, these levers you had to flip.
It was a very in-depth game for what it was.
I'm kind of sitting here thinking, though, the whole time I'm playing it, I'm like, God, what if they like put some of this in like a Mega Man or like one of these other platformers? I'm like, not the dog and not dirty dick in the damn Jetsons, but I'm just like, I was thinking about other games that would have been cool in, but I think that the level design was probably the strongest part, and part of the level design was almost everything as far as the environment was interactable. There's a block there. That's the first thing you do is you vacuum up a block and you use it as a weapon for that thing. One of them robot bulldogs or whatever. You ain't got that. You can just suck one of them bulldogs right up, and shoot them. So pretty much you learn very quickly what you can move and what you can't. And other than a few backgrounds of like computers and stuff like that, it's blocks and enemies. You can attach yourself to pretty much any one of them, regardless of the size. From what I played a lot of, except for obviously the bosses. And when you talk about the monkey, like some of them bosses is the ones that I didn't beat this game, but the ones that I played was essentially grab blocks, throw it at him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's throwing a block at you. You can actually catch it and shoot it back at him. The environment, being able to interact, some of the level design, that was probably one of the strongest parts.
It was. It really was.
I've only really got one more thing on the make it side, and I've got one that I gotta say in the make it, and I'll save it and put part B of it into the break it.
Okay.
So, do you have anything else that you got on your heart, Josh?
The make it side, I hate myself a little bit for this because I hate water levels with a passion.
Right.
But this water level here wasn't too terrible, I don't think. I think it was probably one of the better of the water levels I've played.
You make me ask, what do you think the worst water level ever is?
It's Sonic.
I don't know. Probably the one that I hated the worst that gave me anxiety. Probably broke a few controllers over. I just beat the other day on PS5.
What?
The damn Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one where you got to go through that water and it's got them electric.
Okay, yeah.
I hate that. That one's up there. I don't know that that's the worst one, but it's at least two. It's one or two.
See, mine's the Sonic one because you actually have air. Like, you don't get to hold your breath forever.
Is Sonic now? I'm not a Sonic guy. In Sonic, could you like jump into air bubbles and get air back?
Yes.
Is that the one? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But there were certain areas where you had to do a perfect run or you would drown. But this Jetson one, it wasn't too terrible. It seemed like it moved faster than the Mario's floaty water and the Sonic one. So I'm going to give them a little tip of the hat, saying this is one of the better water levels.
One thing that you said there that I don't have wrote down is you said that it moves better. Like, when I go through the first part of this game, it's so slow for me because I'm moving slow. But after I've got killed 15 damn times, I can move through it pretty quick.
Yeah, you can
so it's like
through.
This game will move as quick as you want, which is strange. So for me, I would like to say that this game to me was surprisingly challenging. I wouldn't say it's like cut your wrist difficult, but it's taxing.
Yes.
Like, there is a lot of cheap-ass deaths.
Yep.
Which is going to be in my break it when we come there.
A lot of grinding to do to get better at
But for a game called the Jetsons, I figured that this is going to be easier than probably the first Power Rangers. That was a pretty easy game. I'm feeling like this is going to be pretty vanilla game, and maybe the story and stuff. Like, there was way more to this game than I thought there was going to be. Plus, the Jetsons, I don't know that they really, not knowing the cartoon, show a whole lot of violence in their show. So I don't really know. I mean, they did a good job with that, but I was just kind of surprised because I'm like, this game is not fucking easy.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't to me, anyway.
It wasn't for me.
All right. You want to jump over into Break It?
Yeah.
So I'm going to save my part B to it being difficult a little bit later on. But I have to say, as I started this game up, I had issues with it big time. The first thing I noticed was when they started playing the music, and it was the Jetsons theme. I swear to God, what I heard in my head was The Simpsons.
Yeah.
It sounded like the damn Simpsons. Now, maybe that was just me, but the startup was absolutely the most dreadful shit that I ever seen in my life. It was slow. It was boring.
It was just all around bad.
The sprites really didn't look good. Like, the opening scenes did not look good graphically. And then I almost was going to go back and time it, but I could not bring myself. I hated it that bad. I swear to God, that opening scene with the stores. Now, I didn't hit no buttons because I'm like, I'm giving it the way that I'm taking it the way you're giving it to me. It would not surprise me if that was 10 damn minutes. And
it was ridiculous.
And if you told me it was a 2-minute startup, I'd say that was worse because it felt like 10 minutes. So by the time that I got done, I didn't give a shit about the story. To be honest, I didn't really give a shit about the game. With what they gave us, they could have gave us less length to tell us that story. And what the other part is, after reading the back of that box, the back of the box didn't say shit. Have this in the back. Like, this is like,
give me a little background.
Yeah, well, we bitch about the game not having a story when you plug it in if you ain't got the box. This had too much fucking story. Like, stop. We're going too far. I feel like I'm watching a whole episode of the Jetsons, and it's a bad episode. And to go into that, I wasn't blown away by the graphics, and this is how bad I hated the startup. The thing that fucking made me angry was the fonts that they were using in it. Like, why am I angry over fonts? But it was bad.
It was bad. It wasn't a good startup at all.
All right, what you got on your break-it list, Josh? You hit me with a few. I've not got a whole lot because the ones that I've got, I'm on a mountain with.
You on a mountain?
Yes.
All right. I didn't like the music. I didn't like the sound effects. Those were very irritating to me.
The music was bad. I did not like it. It was pretty much looped.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't seem like it changed from level to level. I don't think it. But the other ones is, even though the buttons you could map out how you wanted, to me they seemed a little sluggish.
Okay.
A little laggy. But that could also be me on my emulator.
Well, they weren't like the most crisp. They were very serviceable. But I had problems jumping from wall to wall.
Yeah.
There may have been a delay that I was just thinking was my own dumbass.
I couldn't get the turn right, and the sprint jump didn't really help.
I thought I was bad at sprint jumping. Sprint ducking was almost worse. And then I found out that I could actually suck the wall and pull myself through some of these places. Made life a little bit easier. One thing that puzzles me in this game, I mean, there's a lot of levers that you push and it like opens a gate and there's like a star or a chicken leg or whatever.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, it didn't really bother me, but it kind of puzzled me. You hit the button and then the damn little wall disappears or goes down and then you jump over there, you get the power up. And I mean, some of these were just like basically the size of a closet.
Yeah.
Or you could just turn on the vacuum cleaner
and suck it through the wall.
That literally you start the game with and just suck one right out of the wall.
Yep.
And you never have to do that. And I'm like, maybe it would have been a little cooler if you were like, hey, you have to use this, which wasn't much of a challenge. More or less, it'd be like, maybe have old Leroy or what one of these fucking kids' name is and going, hey, I don't know how to get the star. And you're like, let me use the sucker.
Yeah.
Let me pull it through this glorious hole. And, but you know, it was just like, why do you have a gate here when you can literally suck it through the wall?
Whenever it means nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I still proceeded most of the time to hit the gate, whether I needed to or not. But that was a very peculiar scene.
The other thing I didn't like is your power meter.
Yeah.
Like, did it make sense to you?
No. I just ignored it. I ignored it.
Yeah.
That's all I knew to do.
Yeah, like you had green, yellow, red, and they all seemed to function the same. So I didn't understand that.
Well, talking about some of this, Do you know what any of the fucking power-ups did?
Nope.
Nope.
Not a clue.
That one made you glow almost like a
star.
Mario star for like 3 seconds, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think I couldn't get close enough to an enemy to run into them to see.
Yeah.
Like, that's how quick it was. I will say, I wasn't blown away by the graphics. Now, when the game started up, I'm like, fuck, this looks horrible.
Yeah.
For a game in 94. When the actual gameplay, it was a little bit better. I didn't think the sprites looked that great. I mean, they weren't bad. I was probably better with...
We've seen worse sprites.
I think it was probably better with the enemies and the bosses. Maybe I just don't really know what George Jetson looks like. Because I'm like, I don't know. I feel like he doesn't look right. So that very well could be me.
No, trust me. They hit him almost spot on.
But I don't know that the graphics really blew me away. And I'm not like saying I got to be blown away. I just want something that's okay. And I felt like
this game isn't about blowing; it's about sucking. So
that is true. Like when you get in those little vacuum things, and it sucks your guy all the way to the completed to the end. You know,
guy sucked to completion.
So you are right. There's no blowing; it's just sucking. I've got two things. I'm gonna go. All right, I'm just gonna throw this out here.
Okay.
This fucking pisses me off. I guess you go on this level design that I'm putting up on a pedestal. So I'm going through the stage, and I kind of hit a dead end. I'm like, oh, okay, what do I got to do? And I go back. Oh, that bridge I ran across, and it started falling apart. Let me go back to that. Maybe I need to drop down because you can't see shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I did drop down. I'm to a new world. I'm like, okay, yeah. Or like a new section. I'm over here gaming it out, you know. Motherfucking every enemy that hits me, you know, or it's not even the enemies that really pissing me off. It's every wall jump that I miss that I'm motherfucking. That goddamn gears running across those gears in that second stage pissed me off.
Yeah.
And that's coming next. Don't get me wrong. But then I'm like, hey, here's another one of those bridges. Maybe I need to fall through it. No, I'm just fucking dead.
Yeah.
What an idiot. This motherfucker fell through a bridge that falls apart. You just told, like, we just did the premise. The very first bridge that I think you come to, you have to drop down.
Yeah.
And then the second one you don't. I'm like, come on. I'm like,
gotta go up.
I was like, fuck this, man. Like, you are teaching me to eventually I'm going to have to go down. Maybe that's a separate road. And then the second bridge I get to, I get fucked. Yeah. And I'm like, I did not like that one damn bit. Yeah. So, I just felt like
that was an asshole of a design.
There was also areas where you could actually jump down and get power-ups, and it continued to go down. Then there was areas that would have power-ups that you could jump down and stick yourself to the wall, and if you missed, it was death. And I'm like, we're very inconsistent on what is the secret area, or what is an alternate route, and what is instant death. Like, at least when you give me fucking spikes, I know it's instant death. Even if I fall through and land on instant spikes, at least I know you gave me the premise that there's two levels of this. I just need to not land on one of these damn things.
Yeah, there's an area effect.
That pissed me off like a motherfucker. Like, it boils my blood thinking about it now. And I'm like, you cannot call me the dumbass when this is the practice that you've set forth to me. Like, this is the rules that you have made. And then you fuck me with it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, Josh.
No, because I didn't even do down. I didn't try to do down if it went down unless you had to. That was it. But no, besides that, I always try to avoid it.
All right. Here's the big one for me. The motherfucking gears. Stage 2, I think. Maybe it was still stage 1.
It's stage 2.
Oh, goddamn. So, I did appreciate that the gears are turning.
Yep.
And so if the gear's turning one way and you jump, and you don't even really have to hit much of that gear, but if you're pushing the way the gear is going, you pop right, skedaddle on up that motherfucker. Then you hop on the next one. And then there's like a couple things that are going to fuck you up a little bit, but you keep moving. And so this is what got me. I wasn't much into the dash just yet. And so I was trying to jump from one of these big gears to the little gears, and I miss, and I fall as the screen's moving up. And then I fall, and then I'm fucking dead. And I'm like... Okay, that's a strange mechanic. You're following me up. Do I not just fall back down to the bottom?
Yeah.
No. The goddamn bottomless pit has just... This black hole has absorbed everything that you've just climbed up. So, okay, fair enough. This is my first vertical. It's not like the bridge. You're letting me know the rules of the game here. You're fucking me. Like, this is dirty dicking, right?
Yeah.
So, literally, I jump. Nothing. I'm playing it. Like, there's parts where I jump to get on the platform, and the screen raises up too much, and I fucking land, and the platform isn't visible, and it fucking killed me. There's times where, like, I'm there, and I'm like, oh, no, let me jump back over. If you couldn't see the bottom of that fucking platform, it was death. You could see everything at 1 inch above that platform, but it was fucking death. And that pissed me off to no end. To the point that when I was trying to dash across that motherfucker, even when I made it, I'm like, God dang, I got to make it because I cannot go back and play these fucking gears. I died on those gears trying to figure this dash thing out. I bet you I died 14 fucking times on these things.
I agree with that because I did too. I died a lot on those gears.
I've only got one more thing and that continues with the other one. Do you have anything broken that you want to put on here?
No, I mean, you pretty much covered it. Like, there wasn't a lot of backtracking that you could do without dying.
So, the game's challenging. It's a hard game. Mega Man is too. But people fucking love Mega Man.
Mega Man's the shit.
I think that's probably our number one right now is a Mega Man game. And, just because you suck at it, or like that the thing that sticks out is that damn volcano world where the fucking magma's rising. And, I'm still laughing about it because it was fun, even though I was getting fucked. Like, there was some fuckery in that game. Yeah. So don't get me wrong, but so the game's challenging, but the problem is like a good game that's hard like that makes you want to get better at it. So maybe you consider this. I think this probably falls into what you would refer to as a get good game. But to me, the game just wasn't fun enough for me to want to get good at.
Same here.
And I know there's a lot of people that love this fucking game. Like, that says this is a sleeper on the system. For me, it was a very vanilla game. Like, I can stick to the ceiling, and I can stick to the walls. Other than that, there really wasn't a whole lot for me there. And I just didn't think the game was good. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever played. I don't know where the hell I'm going to rank it.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that this entire time. I'm not for sure where I'm going to rank.
I'm not a Jetsons cartoon fan.
Nope.
I'm not a Jetsons the video game fan. I would be completely fine unless there's just some reason in my life that I don't know. I don't want to go back and play it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm never going to play this game another day that I'm alive. And I'm okay with that. It just wasn't that fun for me. Like, I can't really say that there was a whole lot some of the mechanics of the game was aggravating, and it wasn't the worst game I played, but it was just, Like, the whole time I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like, am I done yet? Am I done yet?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I want to be done yet, but should I be done yet? And that's just where I was on it. I don't know. That's my big break it there. Do you have anything to add there, Sire?
No, you covered the break it side.
Now, I do have some pretty fun facts.
About the show?
Yes, about the show. I do have one over the game that I will completely butcher because I did not write it down because I didn't care enough about it. But it is probably fairly interesting. But I do have 2 speed runs. Basically, speed runs are on normal and easy. And price charting and then the trivia. What would you like?
Hit me with that trivia.
Okay. This blew my mind more than anything. It actually kind of comes... To be honest, the trivia was way more fucking entertaining than the game. The trivia, I have more respect for the show. So, the first thing that I would have not been able to tell is it takes place in the year 2062.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So, this is what blows my mind. It originally aired on prime time from September 1962 to March 17th, 1963. So we're in the 60s. in the height of the space race.
Yep.
So I'm guessing that's probably one of the other reasons is because people are like, hey, we're landing on the moon. We're going to be freaking
flying cars, jetpacks,
fucking on Mars in a century or a decade. We don't know yet. We're clapping cheeks, Like that was, they originally wanted to clap alien cheeks, is I think what happened there. It aired, of all places, on ABC.
ABC Family.
And this part probably blew my mind. So the original airing was like a year, less than a year, from September to March, and then it was done. It was the first color show broadcast on ABC. So when it says that, I don't know if that counts like sports that they may have been recording, but it was the first color show on ABC.
Huh. That's interesting.
So it did only last one season. They only aired 24 episodes between that time. So if you grew up with this, more than likely you were just watching these 24 episodes. But it got revived in 1985 for 51 more episodes. And one of the things that they said it just didn't track, or why it wasn't as successful back then, was one of the things they talked about was they feel that a lot of the cancellation came from, even though it was the first color broadcast show, most people didn't have color TVs. So they were watching the Jetsons in black and white. Oh. So I don't know that really matters, but it damn well probably could have, because they do use a lot of colors. Even in the game, there's a lot of colors. So we still got a few more.
Okay.
The guy who voiced Astro on the Jetsons, yes. In 1969, he also voiced another famous dog.
Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
Here is... Let me look here. The Jetsons theme song in 1986 became a hit on the Billboard charts. It was a top-selling dance single, sitting between Run DMC and Pet Shop Boys. It peaked at number 9 on the single sales chart.
Wow.
Well, it says Jane Get Me Off This Crazy Thing / The Jetsons was a top-selling dance single, so I'm guessing it was probably a mix of some sort.
Yeah.
But, there's some banging theme songs out there.
There are some banging theme songs.
So this part is probably the least interesting one that I feel we're into the Spider-Verse with. I don't know. I don't think that there's an actual, conspiracy theory to this, but I feel like there damn well should be. So, in the final episode of the first season, there is instead of having a smartwatch, Elroy has a wrist TV. And in the final episode, while they say slacking off, he flips up his watch and is watching an episode of the Flintstones. Or the Flintstones is on the watch TV, or the wrist TV. So they've got the fan theory is that they coexist in the same era. Well, why the hell would they not if you put one on one?
Yeah.
But you would have to be in some kind of Spider-Verse, right? Because one of them's in the Stone Age, one's in the future.
Well, okay, now here's the thing with the Jetsons, is they're all living above the skyline. They're all above. You never see the ground.
Well.
So what if they're on the ground?
The Nerdist has an interesting take on it. They, in 2010, said that they think the Jetsons predates the Flintstones. They think there's some kind of weird robotic takeover and everybody gets sent back into the Stone Age. And there is apparently enough 1987 movie, The Jetsons Meet the Flintstones.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's probably some kind of animated bullshit there. But it's Hanna-Barbera, which has King's Island. That used to be banger when I was a kid. That's one of the funnest theme parks I ever went to. I don't know if it's still there. I don't know if it's still fun. But, I hate to say it, much rather chill with some Flintstones than some Jetsons.
Yeah, I like the Flintstones.
But I don't know. It's pretty cool. It was the first TV show broadcast in color. I would have never believed I feel like the Jetsons are pretty fucking popular. If you're talking anything futuristic, somebody's probably going to reference the Jetsons. And for it to only originally ran for 24 episodes in 1 year just blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, I figured it was a lot longer than that.
Or that it was on the Billboard charts. Or that Scooby-Doo was voiced by the same folks. But whatever. All right. You want some speed running?
Yeah, let's do some speed running.
On normal, there is 4 people who have completed it. The person who owns this said it 10 months ago. And there's actually 2 people that did this 10 months ago for first and second place at normal. The guy who came in second on normal has won the easy. He's the only one that's did it on easy. So, how fast do you think somebody could complete this game, Josh?
18 minutes.
No, you're a little too fast for him.
Okay.
On normal,
okay.
You are.
I'm going to say 23.
5 years ago, when the first initial speed run was ran by Sora Takara, they did it in 33 minutes, 40 seconds. 2 years later, Prince_Leaf came in with a 29-minute, 20-second run. And I think it's an Italian flag. Garadas, Garadas, Garadas 21. 10 months ago, they hung a 23 minutes and 42 seconds. But Loshara, they own the speed run at 21 minutes and 39 seconds.
Okay.
That's booking it. Now, Garadas 21 is the only one to turn in a speed run on the easy. And the only thing I can think with the easy is it must be incredibly fucking easy. The amount of time that is reduced, I would imagine that there are levels missing. Maybe like how Dracula did not have all the levels, because I ain't going to have you guess at this. They did the normal. Nobody's did a hard run, but the normal Garadas did in 23 minutes. He did easy, or she did easy, in 9 minutes and 3 seconds.
Dear Jesus.
So, don't get me wrong. I know these people are a lot better than us. There has to be levels.
Yeah, there's got to be
levels. Or it's like the bosses, you're just hitting them one time or something like that. I mean, I can't even imagine.
No enemies or half enemies in the stages or something.
So now, my friend, we're going to take a little travel into the world of price charting and eBay. What do you think a loose price of this goes, Josh?
I'm going to feel bad I'm going to say 20, and I'd hate that.
Buckle up. We're in for a doozy today,
I figured
brother.
we are.
You are way low.
Oh, God damn it.
I cannot believe this.
Let's go with 60. I'm tripling it.
You're still significantly low.
What?
Yeah, I ain't making this up.
Okay,
I'm on the same boat as you.
Then I'm doubling it to 120.
I'd say that's close enough. The loose price, according to price charting, is $116.81. What I seen on eBay, I did see some that were like $90, $120. It kind of looked like $135 shipped was kind of where the
average.
Yeah. Well, like there may have been some a month ago or like 30 days ago, but like that seemed what was recent. 100. So we'll call it 116 to 135. Dude. You can buy fucking Mega Man games for that.
Yeah.
Right? You could buy... One of the Mega Man games is relatively cheap. One of the X's.
Yeah. You could buy at least 2 to 3 Mega Man games for that.
I could not... I could not believe... apparently in the future with the Jetsons, they got unlimited money, because I could not imagine... I'm like, there's no way this is $116 on price chart.
On a loose copy.
So the one that they have on complete is the one I seen that sold on eBay. They say they're selling, they track about 5 a year. Bet the price that I seen for the last complete copy on eBay is what they're showing. What do you think a complete copy is, Josh?
$380.
No, you're a little bit low.
Okay.
As far as when we're talking in the hundreds, you're a little low.
Let's go with 610.
No. You
went too high.
Yeah.
Went too, okay.
We complete price $439.99.
$439. Okay.
Could you ever imagine having 4 Benjamins in your pocket and you're like, I know exactly. Like, I mean, if you threw $400 down, George, and said, George, here you go, I'd be like, I know exactly what I can use that for. And you're going to be like, what? I'm like, I don't know, probably paying some shit. Maybe buying something that I don't fucking need. Then you're going to say, what are you going to do? Maybe I go buy a fucking 80 damn strategy guides from the junk store. What you're not going to hear me say is, I'm going to go buy the fucking Jetsons and high five, bro. Like, no, I will. That's like saying that I've got a case of the Mondays. Somebody's going to get their ass whooped for that, you know. $440 for a fucking complete copy. Just to put this in perspective, Josh, the manual itself, which is going to be on my bolo because I've probably seen this. I would think this is the same price as a fucking sports manual. So before we get to a new copy, just to let you know, the manual sells for $99.95. The box only, if you had the box and it was collapsed, $196.21.
Fucking Jesus.
The bright side is the difference between the graded price and a new price is only $140.
Oh, that's it.
So if you're going to throw this amount of money out,
you might as well go for it.
It's essentially the price of another loose cart.
Yeah.
So a new price. What kind of idiocracy do you think a new one is? I would give you the permission to kick me right square in the nads if I ever spent this much, maybe on a video game. I hate to say that. If I ever spent this on this fucking game, you need to commit me somewhere.
Okay. Let's say my normal rule is the triple of the 410, 420-ish. Which 440, which would put me up to close to 1,300.
Okay, well, what's 440 times 3 exactly? 1,320, something like that?
Yeah.
The new price, they said that they only have one that sells a year that they've tracked, as well as the graded one. The new one is $1,408.
Fucking
$1,408. I've had fucking my first 3 vehicles didn't cost $1,400. A graded one was $1,548. So I mean, I would hope if you're like, you sick freak, you spent $1,400,
just spend the extra $100. Yeah, just spend the extra $100.
So yeah, that is
that's ridiculous.
I could not believe, and even there being games that I've never fucking played, but I know they're expensive just because they're expensive. I've never heard of this game being that expensive. No. And
Five Goes West was one of our most expensive games, and then I think
it was probably like $70 or something if I'm remembering right.
For loose, I thought for new it was way up there too.
Oh, maybe the new one is. I was thinking of loose.
Yeah, no, new one I think was way up there, but I like Five Goes West a lot more than this.
Oh yeah, you are absolutely. Probably another thing, just kind of throwing this out there. I hated it with Fifel, but we referenced it in here too. You know what did it better? Fucking Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah.
Mickey and Minnie, I'm like, the more of these games that I'm playing, the higher I'm going to have to rank them. Because I'm like, we might be too low on Mickey and Minnie. Because they have at least set a mark to where that needs to be. We keep saying, hey, this is okay, but, there's vacuum cleaner in Mickey and Minnie, and I figure the vacuum cleaner there is probably better than on this one. I didn't care for it. I think this was a mediocre game. Not the worst game I've ever played, but this game at that price is an abomination, and there is I don't even know if you say it's a low-key. There is a huge amount of the community that thinks that this is one of the biggest sleepers that gets slept on the damn Super Nintendo. And they are fucking wrong.
I agree. I think they are wrong.
Of course, I guess sleepers, like to me, a sleeper that everybody else knew about that I didn't was like Space Mega Force. I fucking love that game. I mean, it pissed you off. But that to me was a sleeper because I was just ignorant and didn't know about it. I would have never thought Jetson was this expensive. I would have never thought after playing this that people love this game as much as they do. Just not for me. No. I hear people saying they love this game, but there's not that many speedruns. There's like 4 people running speedruns. Yeah. So I feel like the proof is in the pudding.
If I say, is it the same 4 people that keep getting on there in different usernames saying this game's the GOAT?
I don't know, but one of the things that I do think it did remind me a little bit of, too, like when the boss is throwing them little blocks at you, it did kind of. I ain't saying that it is ripping them off, but it reminded me of playing Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers on the NES, and I did love that fucking game a lot. So, anyways, we're going on to more important things, Josh. And we've got our whiteboard here, but I have found out yesterday I made a grave mistake, and the marker had fell, and the lid had fell off of it, so it had dried out. Oh. So we now have no marker for this
awesome
high-tech chicken scratch whiteboard. So I have the previous 5 games, but I will type it in the computer so we have it for next week.
Okay, do I need to bring
only the marker? Yes, because only the highest production. I am way too lazy / broke to go buy a dry erase marker.
I will bring a marker next week.
And it does not even have to have the little eraser on top. Where is this bastard at? This is what happened. I found it, and it was like this. And I was like, that is unfortunate. It is.
That's hilarious.
So, fuck. Just a comedy of errors. So, you've got... The prediction was you wanted an RPG or a bad RPG. It was what you thought.
Yeah.
And I was on a Turtles kick, and I said I think we may play one of the worst games that we played this season. I don't think this is the worst game that we played this season. So I think we were just both wrong. You have Gods, American Gladiators, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, Sequest, and Super Valis. Mine's very well could be the same as yours. I'm a little bit different. Do you know where you want to put this, or do you want me to go sound this out for myself first?
No, I think I know where I'm going to put this.
Okay. Tell us your logic. Why you doing?
Okay. Gods is still, I think, the superior game so far.
I probably agree with you there.
American Gladiators, for me, is still a solid game. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It just hit me wrong that day. Like I think I could actually move that up to number 2, but I'm not. Still stick at 3. This game was better than Sequest. So I'm gonna put this at number 4 for me because I got Super Valis at 5.
Hang on. We are exceeding our production as my computer just died on me. Son of a bitch. So
that's hysterical.
So next week, when you're like, why do these motherfuckers don't know what they ranked it, you will know exactly what has happened here.
Only the finest here at Will of SNES.
Yes, please sponsor us. We need all the help we can get. $20 buys a computer laptop charger. So you are going Gods, American Gladiators. Where did you say you were putting this?
I'm putting this at number 4. Sequest is going down.
We got Jetsons, Sequest. Looking at your list, you said it's better than Sequest.
Yeah.
I have Sequest and Super Valis flipped, and I think you are correct. It is. Gods is still superior. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was kind of annoying, but it was different enough. Like, there was at least a little bit of a fun factor there. Like, even though I'd exhausted what I wanted to do on that game, like, if I had to choose which game I had to get good at, it would much rather be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So I feel like I would have more enjoyment.
See, if we played this game before the other one, I would have ranked it higher. But the other one had more of a nostalgia feature for me.
So I'm with you. I've got my bottom three as Gladiator, Super Valis 4, and Sequest. This is a better game than Sequest. This is a better game than Super Valis. It hits me right there at the Gladiators. And to be honest, even though Gladiators didn't have a whole lot of replayability, I would play Gladiators in a heartbeat. I would swing on that little swing shot, human cannonball, whatever the fuck it is, while watching an episode of it on my phone and be happier than a pig walling in shit before I would
play the Jetsons again.
So I think you're right. We are God's my more Power Rangers, Gladiators. I gotta make sure to write this shit down because next week we're going to be lost. Don't ask me how I have the same amount but in different. So yeah. This game I can't believe how expensive it is and how many people defend this game. It wasn't and I'm not just saying this is the worst game I ever played. It's just the people who are on a mountain defending this is very strong about it, and I must just be lost.
Yeah.
I'm lost on it. If you love it, to each their own. If you told me you bought this game for $140, I didn't even ask you. So we're saying that let's call it $120, Josh. Would you take $60
yes.
or $120? You are fucking right. Like, it would be hard
not to take the $6 because they could buy you a brand new game right now.
If I've ever played this game or I seen it in a store and there was no such thing as the internet and I just had to go with my gut and it said $20, I'm leaving that game. $20 is maybe the top of what I feel like I would have to be over the halfway point in the Super Nintendo set for me to spend $20 on this game. Because, God,
I agree. There's no way.
I think it's an $8 game. Maybe 10.
I was going to say, I'll give it 10.
I would, if you have $60 fucking dollars, I can go pick I bet you I could pick 7 games you could probably get for $60 that are way more fun than this.
Yeah.
We probably played the games ahead of this that I can't. You cannot tell me that this game holds a value as one of the Mega Man freaking X games.
No.
And I gotta stop. So we gotta call our shot for next week, Josh. We're getting close to the end of the season. We got 4 more games?
Yeah.
What are you feeling like?
Sports.
Okay. Somebody was talking to me about a lot of the games. Somebody, in person, that obviously must not listen to the podcast, and because they were saying they're just blown. Oh, how many of these games have you played? And I'm like, it's really weird. We get on these spells where we play we played 2 of the 3 Power Rangers. The chips
played 4 out of 8 of the FX chips.
3 or 4 of the 8. I can't remember. I said we've played 2 movie games based off of movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, directed by James Cameron, in The Terminator and True Lies, maybe even in the same season. I can't remember. That might have been the 20-game season. But I'm like, it is ironic how many sports games we haven't played. And just working off my memory, NBA Live 95 and maybe the Dirt Bike, or I don't consider F-Zero a sports game.
Okay, so we've done NBA Live 95.
Oh, shit. You were right. That god-awful
Dig
hockey.
and Spike.
Dig and Spike. Hit the ice.
Hit the ice.
Hit the ice. And there was another one. Fuck. I forgot about Hit the Ice and Dig and Spike.
Do you count Battle Cars as a racing game?
I don't think Battle Cars does, but you might loosely count Dirt Tracks as one. To me, I don't. But
yeah.
It's a racer to me, but, you probably get into that whole argument of what is a sport.
Yeah.
And, I don't really fucking care, I can tell you what a sport was back in 1994 when it came out, but we're a little bit different generation. But, so you're saying sports. Do you want to make a backup call with it?
No. I'm just going broad general sports.
I'm puzzled.
Are you still on your Turtles kick?
No, I've moved past Turtles. Well, I'm just going to go on the theme of what I've been playing. I'm playing Lego Star Wars. I'm going to go Super Star Wars.
Super Star Wars.
I don't feel very strong about it, but I don't have anything else on my mind because I don't want to play a game based off a cartoon right now after the Jetsons. We can only call so many RPGs. We can only put that bat signal up for so many to be left out hanging. And
I know.
I go Super Star Wars or going sports.
Let's see what we get.
All right, see you guys.